My parents were very, very open, very liberal, very progressive in their thinking. But their generation, I can't believe the way African Americans were treated, and still are treated in this country. And my children will look at, my 3 kids will look at my generation and say, Dad, what was up with the homophobia of your generation? And you know what? They're right, and it's embarrassing. So what I see and what I love about the 18 to 23-year-olds is there's so much hope with all of you. And to remember that, and to see if there's such a thing as an eternal truth. It is as follows: there is but one race, the human race. Far too often we exaggerate our differences. And not just internationally, but in this country as well. Other questions? Oh, yes.
I was just wondering, on the topic of Jewish-Christian relations, what do you see as the future of it?
I'm very optimistic. I'm very, very optimistic regarding the future. I don't think that there's the Catholic Church, I mean, from the standpoint, with you, basically, if you're looking at John Paul II from a doctrinal perspective, he was very conservative. But by the same token, he continued regarding the interfaith dialogue, which was desperately needed, and took a number of steps which, as a Roman Catholic, I was very proud of. We end up in the present day with Pope Francis, who, his best friend is the chief rabbi of Buenos Aires, Rabbi Abraham Skorka. So that's also good, in my opinion, for Jewish Catholic relations. They co-wrote a book of Heaven and Earth, the two of them. So you have this pendulum probably swinging back and forth, probably end up once Pope Francis has retired or passes on, perhaps a more conservative pope. It's difficult to say, but I'm very, very upbeat, very optimistic regarding the future. And with this position that I've had for 4 years, I used to be exclusively in the classroom, seeing the amount of not just rabbis that I've been talking with and working with across the United States, but also, as I made reference to at the outset, of priests and sisters of charity. I mean, this was when I went out to interview at Seton Hill, the Sisters of Charity run the institution, and I didn't know anything, and there was terms that I should have, as being a good Catholic boy and going for a job. I should have known more about the Sisters of Charity, but I didn't, and I saw this lot of real strong religious imagery on campus. So I'm thinking, well, if they've got a Holocaust Center, they're probably fairly progressive. So I went back to Wisconsin, back to Milwaukee, and I typed in Sisters of Charity, Greensburg, Pennsylvania. And article after article came up on the internet that the sisters were constantly and consistently in trouble with the Bishop of Greensburg for being a bit too outspoken. And I thought, this is my kind of place. Because I love that bumper sticker, well-behaved women seldom make history. Yet another eternal truth if there is such a thing. And I mean that as a credit, obviously. Other questions? Did I answer the question? Sometimes I get going on and it's good. Tim Crane can't just answer a question and say, good, yes, no. It's got to be more of a dialogue. Any other questions? If so, please swing on up and feel free to ask. I'll hang around for as long as you like, and please help yourself to cookies, grab something on the way out. Thank you all so very much for being here.